Good evening, Knicks Nation. It is now Saturday night, the 9th of July. I am packing to move, because we're moving to Florida from the DC area. And since I'm up packing and I did get a chance to review the game, I wanted to go over the Knicks Warriors game. Now, first off, as I watched the game and salute to Knicks Nation, as I watched the game, I wanted to just get an overall take. If you haven't noticed, if you've been a Knicks fan for let's say more than 10 years. So let's say you go back previous to 2012. Okay, let's say you go back previous to 2012. You will notice there's a definite change in the culture. Okay, so we talked about the Knicks being a long-term sustainable winner, right? And we talked about how there needs to be an organizational change of culture that has happened. Okay. First of all, at the game, Emmanuel Quickley was there. Obi Toppin was there. Cam Reddish was there. Julius Randle was there. Leon Rose was there. Tom Thibodeau was there. And most importantly, James Dolan was at the game. That is a change in culture right there. That is a change in culture. Okay, everybody was there. This is a summer league game. Everybody was there. Now, let's add to that some facts. Taj Gibson was waived. That's a fact. That's not speculation. That's not, guess. That's not. Taj Gibson was waived. What does that mean? I think if you understand Tom Thibodeau at all, you would know that Taj Gibson is one of his boys. Okay? Him and D Rose, one of his boys. Like go way back to Chicago, to Minnesota, and now to the Knicks. Taj Gibson, one of his boys. Taj Gibson was waived. Okay? That waiving of Taj Gibson is telling you the Knicks want to operate under the cap. Fiscal responsibility. That is a change in culture. Do you understand that? That is a change in culture. Hello, Margaret. Hello, Christopher, JJ Lon, Mike K, Omar Toppin, Nick P, King Ingbert. Who am I missing? Russell Whiskey, King Ribbert. Welcome. That is a definite change in culture. Okay. That was one of Tom's homies right there. And Leon didn't think twice waiving him. Okay. Waived him. All right. That opens up more room for Obi Toppin right there. Waived him. Okay. And reportedly, he's going to sign with the Wizards. Why would Taj Gibson sign with the Wizards? Because the Wizards, if you look at the Wizards roster, they're in a win now situation. They just re-signed Bradley Beal. He's past 30. They got Kristaps Porzingis. He's 26, 27 now, believe it or not. They got a bunch of guys that are win now age. So they have to go all in now. They just signed Bradley Beal to a $200 million deal. So they're all in. So they would get a guy like Taj Gibson, and they would, most of all, pay him. At 36, 37 years of age, if you can get a $5 million, $8 million payday, you're going to get that. Okay, Taj Gibson. So that, that's the end of one of Tibbs's boys right there. They already moved Alec Burks, who last year, if you recall, Tom Thibodeau said he is the best point guard option we have. Y'all remember that? He's gone. Nerlens Noel is gone. Kemba Walker is gone. And let me tell you something else. Shalawam Kanal Banan Lawa. Laya. Let me tell you something else. Before training camp, either Evan Fournier, or Derrick Rose, listen to me carefully. Either Evan Fournier or Derrick Rose will not be on the roster. Okay? So let's talk about what that means. Cam Reddish was there, sitting next to Leon Rose. Cam Reddish was at the summer league, sitting next to Leon Rose. Did you see that? Julius Randle, a 9-year veteran, $100 million player, was there. Looking somewhere around, if I'm not mistaken, tell me if I'm wrong. He looked like 235 pounds. Am I lying? He wasn't no 245, 250. He looked like somewhere around 235. What does that mean? A couple of things. Number one, Julius is in shape. Now, wait, we never had a problem with Julius being in shape. He's always been in shape. But there's just sometimes, like the year before this past one, and now, when he comes in such tremendous condition, you know he's planning to play ball. Number one. Number two, we know there's an Obi Toppin problem. That's not avoided. That's not front. There's an Obi Toppin problem. What's the Obi Toppin problem? Obi Toppin scored 32, 35, and 42. Obi Toppin is pushing for more minutes. You cannot go back to 12 minutes a game with Obi Toppin. That cannot happen. So now what does that mean? That means you can play them both together. That means one of them will play the 3 and one of them will play the 4. That's what that means. Okay, at least for stretches during the course of a game. For stretches. Not saying 48 minutes of it, but for stretches. You're going to get probably 10, 15 minutes of Obi and Randle at the 3 and the 4, as long as it's effective. If it's a disaster, you won't see it no more. But as long as it's effective, it can be Randle at the 3, it could be Obi at the 3. It could be interchangeable. It doesn't matter. This is what we call what we call that. Positionless basketball. Okay, so that the fact that you see Randle in that kind of shape, you're seeing that. Okay, now wait, we're not done yet. Did you see the 3 kids? The thing about the New York Knicks, in the change in culture that we're talking about, first of all, in mentioning the fact that Alec Burks is no longer on the basketball team. Nerlens Noel is no longer on the basketball team. Taj Gibson is no longer a New York Knick. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? They are doing what we thought they were going to do. What did we think they were going to do? What did Leon Rose say? In the first speech he gave, the first interview he gave, what was it? Was it with Mike Breen? He said, we're going with the what? Young core. Then he mentioned it again in the statement that just came out a few weeks ago. We want to develop our young players. Remember that? So he got rid of Burks. He moved Taj. And Nerlens Noel is gone. Okay? You're already seeing. He don't have to say no more. He's already said it for people that want to pay attention. See, the media want to act like he's not telling you what he's going to do. But he is. He's going with the kids. Okay? Now, what does that mean? Now, once you move in Evan Fournier, Cam Reddish is going to be on this team. Let me tell you, some people make comments. I saw it. I was looking at Twitter. I was looking at the comments. I was looking at some of the other content creators. Won't say who. But people were mentioning that Cam was so, let's say, what's the word I'm looking for? Stoic. Can I say stoic? Do you know what stoic means? Like he was straight-faced, like he wasn't excited, but he was there. What does that mean? Let me tell you. Listen to raw Hebrew. Let me tell you what it means. Cam, right now, is straight business. Did you hear what I said? Cam Reddish is straight business right now. This is a big year for Cam Reddish. Let's go into it a little bit more just to explain. Let's flesh this out a bit. Cam's talent alone, his talent will say, even if he flounders with the Knicks, he'll get another chance because of his age, like around 23. I think he'll be in September or August. And his talent, I mean, the physical talent, he's going to get another chance. What we're talking about, though, and listen carefully and think of it if it was yourself. If it was you and you're talking about the difference between making between $15 and $20 million a year and making between $3 and $6 million a year. Now, both of it's a lot of money to the average person, right? But that's a big difference, right? So if you can get, let's go a median. Let's say 18 million versus 4 million. See, if he flounders with the Knicks, he's going to get another shot. His talent dictates that. You know, like, for example, y'all heard of Josh Jackson? Remember him? 4th overall pick for the Phoenix Suns. He didn't quite pan out, but he's still in the league. Why? Because his talent is such and his age is such that teams are going to still take a chance on him. Okay? Because he's young enough and he's talented enough that maybe he'll pop still. That's what you think about that with a kid like that. That's Cam Reddish. His talent is as such, and his age is such that somebody will give him a chance, even if he flounders on the Knicks this year, even if he gets hurt. But this is the year that he can become a $20 million player. So he's not going to come into summer league, laughing, joking, you know, who would you rap with and all that. He don't care about that. Cam is right now about straight business. And that's how you want him. That's exactly how you want him. Sitting next to Leon Rose at the game. Y'all see that? So what does that mean for Evan Fournier? Let me tell you what it means. He's not starting. I'm guaranteeing you that. Let me give you a guarantee. Guarantee number 1 from Raw Hebrew tonight on July 9th. Evan Fournier will not be a starter on the 2022 Knicks, and there's a 50% chance he won't even be on the team. Are you hearing me? Because Cam Reddish is all business right now. And let me tell you something. Cam Reddish is talented above Fournier. Fournier is a great shooter. He's a great shooter. There's no doubt about it. He broke the Knicks record for 3-point shots last year. Okay? He broke the Knicks record for 3-point shots last year. So you can't say he's a scrub. But that's how good Cam Reddish is. His talent is above that. Both sides of the basketball. And I'm going to tell you something. What I liked about what I saw for him on the sidelines, the young brother, straight business. Straight business. This ain't no joke right now. Straight business. And that's how you want Cam Reddish. Did you hear what I said? That's how you want him. See, because of the mental state of Julius Randle, you want Randle to be loosey-goosey. Because if Randle starts getting too serious, you'll start hearing him arguing with the refs and stuff and getting taken mentally out of a game, and then we're all screwed, right? So you want Randle to be loosey, but not Cam Reddish. That's a different dude. Cam Reddish was straight business. That's what you want. You want him to let everybody be on notice. I'm coming to bust your ass. This, no pun intended. Excuse my. I'm coming to bust your ass in training camp. That's what you want from Cam Reddish, and that's what we got. Okay, that's what we got. So I like that. So I think we're going to keep Cam. Okay, for you Cam fans out there. From what I'm seeing, from what I saw at the first game, from the body language, from being sitting next to Leon Rose like that, Cam's going to be a New York Knick this year. Okay? Cam's going to be a New York Knick this year. Okay? Okay? So that's that. Okay. Obi's going to get more minutes. I can see by the Randle slim down. I think he must be like me. He must have gone on the keto. Because the brother was slim. Did you see him? The brother was slim. Okay. And he ain't no crackhead. So he was just slimmed down, protein, getting off the sugar, slim. Okay. We're going to get to Farron in a minute, will you? Well, hold on. We're going to get to him. I'm trying to break this down one pick at a time. Okay. So, okay, so Randle coming in like that, I think him and Obi going to play a lot of minutes together with Mitch Rob. Because, listen, the Knicks, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, so don't trip. The Knicks have a depth at the 5 spot as good as anybody in the NBA. Okay, they have depth at the 5 between Mitchell Robinson, Isaiah Hartenstein, and now y'all saw Jericho Sims. That's the 3rd string dude. And let me tell you something right now. Right now, he's better than Jalen Duren. I'm not saying he's going to be in the future, but today, for this season, he's better than Jalen Duren. Did you hear what I said? So and that's our 3rd string center that we drafted 58th overall. Okay, so we deep at the 5. So because of that, you can play Julius at the 4 or the 3, and you can play Obi on the other side, and you can start RJ at the 2. You could do that because you got it like that. You can have Cam Reddish and Grimes come off the bench if you want to on the wing. You could do that. You know why we could do that? Because we got it like that. Okay? We got it like that. All right. Let's talk about Farron Hunt. Now, some of y'all will bear witness. Did I not talk about Farron Hunt in my last video? Before even the first Summer League game. Some of y'all can bear witness. Did I not talk about Farron Hunt? Did I talk about him? Or did I? Did I not? Did I say Farron Hunt wore the blue and orange last year and they signed him to a G League contract? Now, let me explain something else. Let's go a little further with Farron. I watched the game. Okay, Farron, even at college, he was never a superstar type dude. 7-foot wingspan, defensive ability. And as we saw during the Summer League game, it is quite obvious he's a finisher, isn't it? And it's quite obvious he likes to run, right? Now, what does that mean? Listen to me carefully. Gene Montero better pray that Farron Hunt does well enough in the Summer League to have his G League contract converted to the 15th man on the team. He better pray that dude is good. Why? Why? Because if Farron Hunt takes that 15th spot, that leaves a G League spot open because they just signed 2 G League dudes. They signed Keels to a G League contract and they signed Hunt to a G League contract. That was smart. Keels needs the development and so does Hunt, but this locks Hunt into the Knicks, you see? So if Hunt keeps, and Hunt, you see, Hunt was playing like a dude trying to make the team. Did you notice that? I mean, he was going all out. There's dudes that play under control, like Grimes. We're going to talk about him in a minute, but he was under control, understanding he was going to get his 30 minutes. You understood he was going to get his 30 minutes. That's right. That's right, William. Hunt was playing like a hungry dude, like a dude, I'm on welfare and I'm trying to get this job, dude. Like he was playing like I'm desperate type dude. Okay? And that's what you want. So if he plays good enough, he could very well get an NBA minimum contract and leave another G League spot open. Just speaking on behalf of Eugene Montero fans. Because I watched Montero. I mean, he's got physical NBA ability. I don't know if the Knicks feel, I can't speak for if the Knicks feel if he's worth that type of patience and development. You know, and I told y'all this last video. I said to you, and I'm going to say it to you again, Montero is trying out for the NBA right now. He's not necessarily trying out for the Knicks. He's trying out for any team, G League, that he could get. He's not going to be on a regular NBA roster, but he's trying for a G League contract right now. Okay. And I'm saying if y'all who are Montero fans want to see him get into the league, you better hope Farron Hunt's contract gets converted to a regular NBA contract. Because that could happen for a couple of reasons. Number one, as I mentioned, Farron Hunt is trying his best. He's really out here balling in desperation. And he's 23 years old. It's a little old. It's a little old for a G League contract. But Montero, 18. So if Farron Hunt can get that 15 spot, let's say a $2 million a year, 15 spot like Jericho Sims, 1.5 million, whatever, then maybe there's another G League spot available, and maybe you give that to a Montero and you continue to develop it. I'm just talking for you Montero fans, okay? That's all I'm saying. If they keep Hunt on the G League deal, because they're not changing Keels. Y'all need to understand that. They're not changing Keels. He's going to stay on the G League deal. He needs that development. Okay, he does. I told you that when he got drafted. Tell me y'all talking about he can be a starter or take. No, he's not going to be all that. He's going to get development in the G League. And that's cool. Let him do that. So there's one G League contract that's available if they take Hunt and bring him to the regular roster. You see, last year, because of the pandemic, the NBA suspended the rules because generally speaking, a G League player cannot appear in more than 50 games. He can't even be on the bench for more than 50 games. Okay, that's his limit. They suspended that last year. They're not doing it this year. So this year, it's 50 games. So the Knicks have to decide who's going to be now. Right now, it's Keels and Hunt right now. And I can see that because they both can get that development. But Hunt is playing like a dude that's trying to make the roster. Y'all see that, right? I'm not crazy. Hunt is playing like a dude that's trying to make the roster. Okay, and I like that. Okay, so if he makes the roster, there's another G League deal, and I can see Montero getting that for the development. Okay. Now, again, let's go back to the change in culture. So their highest paid player, Julius Randle, was at the game. That's big time. He don't have to be there. He could be on the south of France right now, getting a massage, getting Dom Perignon and filet mignon if he want to. But he was in 108-degree Las Vegas. That's where he was. Okay. Cam Reddish was there with Leon Rose. All business. Okay, all business. Emmanuel Quickley was there, and Obi Toppin was there, supporting their young compatriots. All business. It was good, man. That's a change in culture right there. Did you notice the Knicks defense? 101-88 was the final score. Did you notice the Knicks defense? Why? Because Jericho Sims, Deuce McBride, and Quentin Grimes are familiar with the system, as well as Farron Hunt. They're all familiar with the system. And they were playing defense in that system. Did y'all notice that? Okay, did y'all notice that? Let me tell you something else. So Grimes was 24 points, 8 assists. And let me tell you, not his best game. Just getting warmed up. Sims was 16 points, 10 boards. Let me tell you, not his best game. But what you saw from him, from Grimes and Deuce. Deuce was 14 points, 7 assists, 30 minutes, 1 turnover. 1. 3 of 8 from the 3-point line. 5 of 5 from the charity stripe. Somebody wanted to say to me, well, he just has trouble getting by people. Listen, if you want to be negative, okay. But let's talk about what Deuce does well. Lockdown defense. A great foul shooter. 5 for 5 from the line. A good 3-point shooter. 3 of 8. That's 40%. Runs an NBA offense. High IQ, knows how to set up his players. Oh, yes. Let me tell you about Doris Burke is one of the best NBA analysts in basketball. I love listening to her. Okay. I love listening. She knows the game and she knows how to speak on players with respect. I love that. I love that about her, man. Doris Burke, I love watching. She makes the Summer League worth watching because of her and Johnson's commentary. She knows the game. I like listening to Doris Burke, man. She knows the game. Okay. Okay. So I love listening to Doris Burke. Yeah, she's a Knicks fan too. I like listening to her. But did you notice I don't know what was going on. I don't know if Kenny Atkinson is a wino or if his breath just stunk. But when they were interviewing Kenny Atkinson, she completely turned her face from him. She would just completely turn her face. I was like, it was so twisted to the right. I was like, is Atkinson like a wino or something? Like, what? Why is she turning her face completely from him? Did you guys? Was I the only one notice that? Or did you notice that? Like Johnson was sitting next to Kenny A, and Doris Burke was there, but then she would turn her face like this, completely the opposite. Like literally her back was to Kenny Atkinson, and I was like, is Kenny Atkinson a wino? What is it? His breath stink? What is it? He didn't use deodorant? Did he offend in some way? Because it was too obvious. I don't know what it was. I don't know if his breath smelled like doo-doo or what it was, but she completely turned away from him. Did you notice that? I was like, and I said, Doris, I thought to myself, Doris, you're making it too obvious. There's something wrong. There's something wrong. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it was. But I was like, what is it? Is it breath stink? Was he a wino? Did he smell like gin? What the hell? I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what it was. But I think everybody saw something was wrong. It was entertaining to me because I was like, why is Doris Burke turning her face to him like that? I don't know. But I like listening to Doris Burke. She knows. And maybe, you know what? Drip Moore probably got it. He probably lit off a fart, man. He probably lit off some gas and caused her to feel sick in her stomach or something, man. He probably set one loose while he was sitting there and she was trying to be professional about it because I was looking. It was so obvious that she turned her face from him, like on a very hard 90-degree angle. It wasn't even like a little bit. It was like she completely turned her back. I was like, what the heck, man? But I like listening to I'm glad I'm not the only one that noticed it because I noticed it. I was glad I'm not the only one, but I like listening to Doris Burke. She knows her business in terms of basketball. She really does know her business. So I like listening. She reminds me of a female version of UB Brown because I like listening to UB Brown also, who used to coach the Knicks back in the early 80s. I love UB Brown. And so, she reminds me of a female version of UB Brown. So I like listening to her. And it's good that she's in the Summer League. It's really good. So I like that. And that brother Johnson that's, with her, they make a good team, man. They make a good team. But so Deuce, Jericho, and Grimes looked solid, looked very solid. They're acclimated to the system and the culture of the Knicks. That's the key thing here. They're acclimated to the system and culture of Tom Thibodeau. Say what you want about Tom Thibodeau. Yes, he's stubborn to the point of stupidity. We said that last year. But if you want to, be fair about it, you can't deny he has brought a defensive culture to the Knicks. You can't deny it. Okay. He brought a defensive culture. Those kids were playing some defense in that game. They were playing some defense, man. And on a high level, especially those four, Sims, Grimes, McBride, and Hunt. They were playing a defensive game on a high level. Okay. Generally speaking, in the NBA, defensive teams don't look pretty. See, that's why I was wondering why I was getting all of these emails from people, these comments on the Shabbat. Grimes is just looking terrible, and he's looking like he didn't work out at all. And if Deuce don't start shooting, they're not going to make the team. Generally, Knicks fans, some of y'all overreact. You overreact on the positive, and you overreact on the negative. I heard some people talking about, Farron Hunt is the next coming of Kawhi Leonard. Come on, y'all, calm down, calm the freak down. Okay, calm the freak down. So some people get hyped one way or the other. And I saw that and I said, okay, I know that's the initial Knick Nation hype. Okay. But if you just sit back, let the game develop, you start to see, more, right? So overall, those four dudes really were understanding the culture, and they were they were playing like they understood the defensive culture of the Knicks. And that, brethren, gives me hope, because you remember last year, just to review quickly, Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier, I think I can say without anyone being offended, they're not good defensive players. Can I say that? They're not high-level defenders. In fact, can I really say they're poor defenders, right? They're poor defenders. In fact, they made Alec Burke look good as a defensive player. And Alec Burke was the worst guy in the defensive rotation from the year before. He was the worst defender we had in the rotation. But because Elfrid Payton is a good defender, obviously, what's his name was a good defender. The guy we had on the wing was a good defender. I think I can see his face and can't think, but you know what I'm talking about. The forward that went to Dallas, he was a good defender. So we had good defenders, and Burke was the worst of the rotation defenders. But this year, they're going Kemba and Bullock, right? Thank you, JJ. Reggie Bullock was a good defender on the wing. But this year, Kemba and Fournier were so bad that they make Burke look like a good defender. That's how bad they were. So I am encouraged by the fact that I'm very certain Evan Fournier is not going to be starting at the 2 guard this year. Well, I'm about 70% that he won't be on the Knicks. Okay. So he definitely won't be starting at the 2 guard. So if we start, and I've been telling you, it's Grimes time, right? My man Q Dog, I told y'all it's Q Dog's time. If Grimes starts at the 2, or if RJ starts at the 2 because they're starting Obi and Randle together, we're going to be a better defensive team. That alone is going to make the Knicks better. Look here. Let me give you another prediction. You ready? The Knicks are going to be top 10 in the NBA in defense this year. Okay. I said that the year that they went to the playoffs, I told you they're going to be top 10. They were actually number 1. I'm going to tell you again. This year, because they've moved Burks already, because they've moved Noel already, because they've moved Taj, and they're getting ready to move either Fournier and or D Rose, we're going to be top 10 again in the defensive categories. The New York Knicks are going to be top 10 in points allowed, top 10 in 3-point percentage, top 10 in field goal percentage on the defensive end. The Knicks are going to be that. And because of that, not even talking about what kind of offense they're going to generate. I mean, most of us understand Tom Thibodeau is not the most imaginative offensive mind, right? He's not Mike D'Antoni offensive mind. Okay. I think we can agree with that, right? Well, because of, simply because you're moving into the top 10 in the NBA in defensive efficiency and defensive points allowed and defensive 3-point percentage and field goal percentage. If you're moving into the top 10 in those areas, the Knicks are a playoff team. They're a playoff team. Okay. And why? Because we now have a point guard. Now, I know that sounds trivial, but you have to understand it's been a minute since we've had a point guard. Mitchell Robinson, in his 4 years in the NBA, has never played with a real point guard full time. Randle has, in the sense that he played with Elfrid Payton. And Payton, I think we can all agree, was a defensive dude, but was an offensive liability, right? Right? I think we can agree. He was an offensive liability, okay, for the most part. So you're going to have Randle playing with a real offensive point guard. Mitchell Robinson playing for the first time as Knicks. Mitchell Robinson playing, and most importantly, brethren, RJ Barrett for the first time in his NBA career. For the first time in his NBA career, playing with a real NBA, legitimate NBA point guard. I'm not saying, like I read the story where Jalen Brunson is looking for the All-Star game and all that. Fine, but that doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is Jalen Brunson is a real deal NBA level point guard. That's what matters. Okay. He can run an NBA offense. He can be a threat offensively. He can open the floor. Real level NBA point guard. Not part-time. See, some of y'all talking about D Rose. Let's be real about this. Are you ready? I know some of y'all are going to be hurt, but I got to tell you the truth. At this stage of his career, at age 34, coming the first game, D Rose is not more than a 15-minute a game point guard. And let me tell you something further. Some of y'all not going to like this. If he's on the Knicks, and I'm not sure he's going to be at $14 million, but if he's on the Knicks, he'll probably get hurt 15 points a game, 15 minutes a game. He's going to get hurt. He's 34. Okay, he's 34. Some of y'all got to recognize. I know, sports heroes die hard, especially in our minds. Michael Jordan was like 40 years old trying to score with the Wizards, and he was way past retirement. He didn't even look good, but people wanted him because why? Because he's Michael Jordan, right? Well, it's the same. We don't let our sports heroes die. We want them to live forever. But the reality is age is undefeated. Even LeBron James for the last 2 seasons has been missing a lot of games because of his age. Okay? It happens to everybody. So here is Derrick Rose. For 15 minutes, he is still an unguardable player. But he probably will get hurt. Deuce McBride is going to see some minutes this year. Okay, he's going to. It's an 82-game season. He's going to see some good minutes this year. And he's going to be ready. Another real deal point guard. Okay, another real deal point guard. Just telling y'all. Okay, that's just how it is. Thank you, Garen Gale, D Moore 914, William. Praise the Most High. Thank you for your blessing. But now RJ, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson are going to be playing with an NBA level real deal point guard. Okay, real deal point guard. Okay, they're all going to. And so that's going to help just that alone. I know it sounds simple, but just that alone is going to really enhance the whole Knicks offense. Okay. My question would be, how much of a defensive liability will Jalen Brunson be? See, listen, Knicks Nation, don't doubt the heart of Jalen Brunson. Okay, don't doubt his heart. Jalen Brunson is a fighter. I mean, if you don't know anything else about him, he's a fighter. Okay, so what does that mean when I say he's a fighter? He's going to step on the court and his attitude is, I'm going to make everybody have hell to pay for playing with me tonight, playing against me tonight. That's a fighter. That's a gym rat type fighter. Okay, but he cannot help if his physical limitations stop him from being a top level defender on the NBA level. Okay, again, we're talking about the league, the best 450 players in the world. Most of them are used to being unguardable their whole life. This is the league. Okay, so it's going to be difficult for him, but he's not just going to be a matador defender. He's going to give his overall best effort. Okay, he's going to put his nose in there. He's going to take charges. He's going to be a fighter. So was Kemba Walker. But the problem with Kemba Walker is, I keep telling y'all, he was playing on one leg. This is the league. You playing on one leg, you ain't going to last. You like a deer that's the weak one and the leopards are after you. You understand? This is the league. And that's why he couldn't last as an NBA starter, and he's never going to. And Jalen Brunson is not strong on defense either, but he's got 2 good legs. Okay, he's got 2 good legs. And he's got all the desire, all the want to play, on the defensive end. So we got to see how much of a liability he will be. If he can at least hold his own, I'm not expecting Jalen Brunson to be all NBA defense, but if he could at least hold his own, protect the point of attack, man, the Knicks are going to be good. Because we know Grimes can, RJ can, Cam can, right? And I want to tell you, Jericho Sims showed some development, didn't he? So does Cam. So does Obi. They've been developing. That's important. As far as a culture, that's very important. You're following me? That's very, very, very important. That's where Tom Thibodeau earns his money. Okay? You change the culture to a defensive culture. Last year, they made a mistake in trying to win now with some dudes that couldn't fit defensively. Now, let's talk about Emmanuel Quickley. Okay. We know that Tom Thibodeau loves Emmanuel Quickley. We know that. We also know just as well that Tom Thibodeau does not believe that Emmanuel Quickley is the long-term point guard solution. Otherwise, he'd have played him last year, and he wouldn't have said that our best option at point guard is Alec Burks. Emmanuel Quickley was there when he said that. So he doesn't believe that Emmanuel Quickley is your full-time point guard. He doesn't believe that. And it's even been reported by Ian that the Knicks as an org look at Emmanuel Quickley as in second unit. Okay. But the truth is, I think we could agree. Emmanuel Quickley is a combination guard, a combo guard. What does that mean? That means he can play off guard and he can play the point. And why do I bring that up? Okay, let's say Quentin Grimes starts. Let's say they actually trade Evan Fournier. Cam Reddish can play the 3, the 2, the 3, or the 4. That's how versatile that young man is. Cam Reddish can play the 2, he can play the 3, and he can play a small ball 4. That's how versatile that young man is. Now, because of that, Grimes is a strict 2. Grimes is not a 3. Grimes is not a point guard. Grimes is a 2, period. End of story. Well, for IQ, that means you can play Emmanuel Quickley beside Deuce McBride. If you're keeping Derrick Rose, you can pair them in the backcourt. You can play Emmanuel Quickley as a backup point guard to Jalen Brunson. Emmanuel Quickley becomes a player on the chessboard that can move all over the board because he can play the point or the 2, right? Okay. So I believe, honestly, he's a natural 2 guard. But I think he can play the point if you need him to, obviously, right? He proved that last year, both in Summer League and at the end of the season. But I'm just saying I don't think the Knicks view him as a point guard. Okay. So I believe the Knicks are really viewing Emmanuel Quickley as the leader of Mobb Deep, coming off the bench. Okay. The leader of Mobb Deep. And he should be. I honestly believe that Jalen Brunson is getting the keys and Deuce McBride is being groomed to play behind him at the point guard. This would be especially confirmed if they trade Derrick Rose. If you see the Knicks trade Derrick Rose, it's confirmed. Deuce McBride is the backup point guard. Okay. Emmanuel Quickley is a combo guard. He can play with Derrick Rose, with Deuce McBride, behind Grimes or Cam, whatever you want him to do. And he's going to get them same minutes he's been getting the last 2 years, off the bench. He's going to still get that. And he's going to be effective. I believe he's that level of effective. He could be that Lou Williams, Jamal Crawford type of dude. I really believe that. Emmanuel Quickley could do that. And some of us really believe he could be a starter as an NBA point guard. But I'm saying if you want to be realistic about it, the Knicks don't view him that way. If they did, they would have played him last year. for longer than just the last, week of the season at the point guard spot. They had plenty of opportunity to play him, at point guard more than they did, especially when they moved Kemba out of the rotation. They had plenty of opportunity to put Emmanuel Quickley as the starting point guard. I don't know why they didn't, but the only reason I'm saying they didn't is because it's obvious to me the Knicks don't look at him as a starting point guard. Y'all follow what I'm saying? See, some people get all mad at me. I'm not saying he can't play the point. What I am telling you is that I don't think Tom Thibodeau believes he could play the point. I mean, as a full-time starter. Okay? That's all I'm saying. Okay? Deuce McBride is a point guard. He's not a two guard. He's not a combo guard. Deuce McBride is a point guard. Okay? And some people want to focus on, well, he can't blow by people. Listen, there's not a player in the NBA except for a prime LeBron. That's the only guy I could think of. Maybe prime LeBron that has no weaknesses. Every NBA player has weaknesses. And I agree, Deuce doesn't appear to be able to blow by people, especially bigger players that they put on him. But what I'm saying is he's an excellent free throw shooter. He's an excellent three-point shooter. He's a lockdown defender. He's a really good passer. He really can run an NBA offense. Okay, so what he brings to the table overcomes the fact that he's not a blow-by type of guy. He can't blow by you like a Kevin Porter used to, or Derrick Rose, or Kemba Walker. He's not that blow-by type of dude, but he has all these other things in spades. That's all I'm saying. Okay, right. So, right, CP3 is not a blow-by type of dude either, but he's a Hall of Famer. Okay, so, everybody got a little bit of weakness somewhere, but the things that Deuce does well, he does very well. Okay, good enough to average 27 and 11 in the G League. Okay, so he actually does. If you're paying attention, D Moore, he really does. He did a few hockey assists in this past summer league game. He really did set up some stuff very well. Did a couple of lobs that was very well set up. So yes, he can run an NBA offense. He has a high IQ. He does a really good job. So given more minutes, you'd see it more clearly. I see it very clearly. Okay, he definitely has that. So I'm saying to you this: if Derrick Rose gets traded, and I can see that happening because of the price tag, $14 million. If he gets traded, Deuce McBride's going to get the backup point guard minutes behind Jalen Brunson. And he'll be playing with mob deep with Emmanuel Quickley. If D Rose does not get traded, Deuce McBride is still going to see some time, just not as much. Because, brethren, let's remember, it's a 82-game season. You have to remember that. 25 years ago and further back than that, going back to the 80s, the 70s, and the 60s, it was common for guys to play 82 games. I mean, really, it was expected. If a guy played 72 games, they called him injury prone. That's the way it was. But nowadays, it's not like that. If a guy plays 72 games, you call him reliable. Very few players play 82 games in a season. So it's a long season. So Deuce is going to get some time. Last year, what stopped him was Alec Burks. There's no more Alec Burks. Not only that, y'all know they renounced Ryan Arcidiacono. You know they renounced him, right? They renounced him. What does that mean? He's off the team. So on an 82-game season, your 3 point guards are Jalen Brunson, Emmanuel Quickley, and Deuce McBride. Those are your point guards. All 3 of them are going to see time. Okay? All 3 of them are going to see time. Okay? You're going to need all 3 of them in an 82-game season. Okay? Brunson is a tough little man. Okay? He's a tough dude. But he's not going to play 82 games. Okay, he's not. He's gonna play. I think he's tough enough to play 72. Okay, but not 82. Emmanuel Quickley is looked upon as the leader of Mob Deep. He's going to continue to do that. But as a backup point guard, I'm looking at Deuce McBride. Now, will the Knicks make any more moves? I'm going to tell you. You ready? I said this earlier. I'm going to say it to you right now. Listen carefully. Either Derrick Rose and or Evan Fournier will not be on the Knicks come training camp. Let me say that again. Either Derrick Rose and or Evan Fournier will not be on the New York Knicks come training camp. I don't know which one, but there's a case for both. Let's explain the case. As we mentioned, you have Emmanuel Quickley, Jalen Brunson, and Deuce McBride. Where's Derrick Rose? They're paying Emmanuel Quickley something like $3 million. They're paying Deuce McBride 1.5. Then they're paying Jalen Brunson $25 million. What do they need with a $14 million bench player? Y'all hearing me? What do they need with a $14 million bench player? $14 million. Did y'all hear what I said? $14 million. Y'all got to remember the business part of this. Okay? $14 million. That's the problem. And an expiring $14 million. So some playoff team is going to want an expiring $14 million. Okay? There you go. Okay? That's problem one. Let's talk about Evan Fournier. On the wing. What do the Knicks have on the wing? I'm going to assume that either Obi Toppin or Julius Randle is going to play some wing this year. Okay? Let's say it's Obi for the sake of argument. One of them going to play a little 3 this year. I'm not saying full time. I'm not saying 40 minutes, but they're going to play 10 to 15 minutes at the 3 spot. One of them is going to do that. Okay, so let's say it's Obi for the sake of argument. So you got Obi playing some 3. Cam Reddish, who was at the summer league with Leon Rose, he's going to play some 3. RJ Barrett is going to play some 3. RJ and Cam can also play the 2. And we already told you, Emmanuel Quickley is a combo guard, which means he also plays the 2. What do you need for 2 years, $36 million for Evan Fournier? Let's look at this again. You got Emmanuel Quickley, who can play some 2. Definitely. That's his natural position. Okay. Cam Reddish, who can play some 2 and some 3, a wing. RJ Barrett's a wing. And you're going to probably see Obi Toppin play a little 3. You have 4 dudes right there. And then did we mention Quentin Grimes? So you got 5 guys that can play the wing. Why do you need to play 31-year-old Evan Fournier, $18 million for the next 2 years at the 2 spot? Why do you need to do that? Even if you have to attach a second rounder, you're going to trade Evan Fournier. If for no other reason you lose the $18 million and you open up a wing minutes for one of the other 5 players that we're talking about. Okay? You're opening up minutes for Obi, IQ, Quentin, Cam, and RJ. Those are all wing dudes. What do you need Evan Fournier for? Evan Fournier is a nice shot shooter. He's the best 3-point shooter the Knicks have, but I'm not keeping him because let me tell you why. Grimes will do just as good a job if given the same minutes. If you give Quentin Grimes 30 minutes a game as a starter on the New York Knicks, let me make you another guarantee. He's going to have at least 5 games where he scores over 5 3-pointers. At least 5. At least. Okay? Where he hits over 5 3-pointers. telling you. Quentin Grimes is that kind of shooter. Allen Houston 2.0. Okay. Then you got Cam, who's straight business. He's coming to play this year. Okay. The Obi, who you need to make minutes for. Sorry, Evan. Sorry. Okay, 29. But I think Gary Burns, check it. If he's 29 now, he's going to be 30 in October. He's at least going to be 30 on the tip of the opening night game. He's going to be 30. Okay. I'm not. Okay. Gary Burns, double check me on that. He's going to be 30 opening night. He don't fit the timeline. Y'all hearing what I'm saying? Emmanuel Quickley is going to be what? 23, 22. Cam Reddish, 22, 23. Obi Toppin's 24. RJ's 22, right? Right? 29, but I'm saying, please check me, Ruggs. Check me. Look at his birthday. Is he going to be 30 in October? In fact, y'all ain't answering. Let me look at it. Is he going to be 30 in October? I think he's going to be 30 in October. Evan Fournier. Let's take a look. Let's take a look right now. Evan Fournier turns 30 on October 29th. Did you hear what I said? Evan Fournier turns 30 on October 29th. Did y'all catch that? That's right. He's going to be 30. Now, let's talk about this again now. You got Evan Fournier. He's 30. You got Cam Reddish. I'm guessing at him. I'm thinking he's going to be 23. He may be turning 22, but I'm going to say 23. He's on the wing. Emmanuel Quickley's probably 22, 23. RJ, we know, just turned 22. So you got 22, 23, 23, 24, and then 30 at 18 million. Who doesn't fit the timeline? Are you hearing me? I'm just trying to be logical with y'all. Who does not fit the timeline? You hear what I'm saying? And you got a Q Grimes that if you give him Evan Fournier's minutes, number one, you're going to get 100% better defense. And you'll get a dude that can shoot the three. Okay? So y'all hearing me? I'm not saying Fournier's a scrub. But what I'm saying is we got the dogs now where we can let him roll. Okay, we could let him go. Okay, we could let him go. Try and tell you. And yes, and you know what, Michael Steinberg, you're not crazy. You know why I say you're not crazy? Let me tell you something. There are teams that are now going all in. They got no choice. Minnesota is one of them. They just traded away their future. They did. They just traded away their future for Gobert. Okay. Washington is all in. Portland just signed Dame 2 years, 122. That's, you know what that means? 61 million a year. They're all in. That's all in. That's win now, today. They ain't developing. They just signed Miles Simon to 100 million. They're all in. So these are teams that would want an Evan Fournier. The Lakers, because they got Anthony Davis still. Thank you for the super chat, Omar. They got Anthony still. They got LeBron. They're all in. These four teams and others are all in. They would use an Evan Fournier. Okay, they would want an Evan Fournier. And let me tell you something else. It has still not been announced the official signing of Jalen Brunson. Now we know he's coming to the Knicks. We're not losing him. The question is it going to be a sign and trade? Now let's look at this logically again. They just released Taj Gibson. They traded Nerlens Noel and Alec Burks into cap space, along with Kemba Walker. So you can see that Don is trying to be what? What is he trying to be, y'all? Under the cap. Under the cap. Why do I mention that? he is going to do somebody going to sign and trade. If he does a sign and trade for Jalen Brunson, then he saves cap space. Let's say it was Evan Fournier for Jalen Brunson. He already had Evan Fournier on his payroll at $18 million. So now he swaps out $18 million Evan Fournier for $25 million Jalen Brunson, and he only loses $7 million on the cap. That's very simple math. Do y'all understand that? So he swaps out $18 million Evan Fournier for $25 million Jalen Brunson. Let's call it 26. So he is really just spending $8 million. Did you see that? And he cleared out Kemba, Alec, New Orleans. He just cleared all of them out already. Okay, he already cleared them out, and then he just released Arcadiachimo and Taj Gibson for $5 million. So he's lost all that money. He just cleared that out, and then he just paid $8 million. So it makes sense financially for him to give Dallas Evan Fournier. Dallas, let me tell you something. I've been listening to some Dallas podcasts. They want Evan Fournier. Okay. But knowing the Don the way we do, what you think the Don is saying? Okay, I'll give you Evan Fournier. I need a second round pick. That's how the Don is doing it. He ain't just giving you Evan Fournier. He needs a pick. Okay. But what I'm saying is there's a market for Evan Fournier. There's a market. Y'all see what I'm saying? There's a market for Evan Fournier. Okay. And Leon Rose is the dude to exploit that market. Y'all should be thankful you got Leon Rose in your front office. He's that dude, man. He is Masai Ujiri, Danny Ainge, Buford. He's that dude, man. Okay. Leon is that dude. Y'all need to give him respect on that name. He is that dude. So he is going to want something in a sign and trade for Evan Fournier. And you know why? He doesn't have to do a sign and trade. He opened up the space. He can sign Brunson outright if he wanted to. But if Dallas wants to get something back and not lose Brunson for nothing, they would want this shooter named Evan Fournier. Okay, so there you go. So something's going to happen. Somebody's getting traded. I'm thinking it's a sign and trade. And I'm thinking it's either Derrick Rose or Evan Fournier. The Knicks are not giving up Cam Reddish. Not with him sitting next to Leon Rose at the Summer League game. That ain't happening. You'll hear what I'm saying, right? That ain't happening. Cam is going to be here. He's going to be here, okay? He's going to be here, which means he needs to get playing time, which means we need to make some room. Either Derrick Rose or Evan Fournier is going to Dallas. Did you hear what I said? Either Derrick Rose or Evan Fournier. I think it would have already been announced. But you know why it's not announced? You know why it's not announced? Because your boy Leon is looking for some picks. I'm trying to tell you. That's what's holding up this deal right here. Leon saying, okay, I want a second rounder. That's what's going on. You know how Leon rolls. That's what's doing, man. So that's what's holding up that deal. Otherwise, it had already been announced. But so I don't know if it's going to be Fournier or Derrick Rose, but one of them two is going to Dallas. Okay? One of them two is going to Dallas. So we're going to see what happens here. But Cam is going to get his shot on the Knicks this year. Yeah, that's right. Omar said waiting for Woj, Bagley, or Shams to report it. That's exactly right. Wait for one of them three, and you're going to catch it. Then it's official. If it ain't one of them three, it's BS. Okay? So, but it's going to happen soon. Like within the next week, it's going to happen. Okay? So you're going to get a sign and trade. Okay? For Jalen Brunson. Now, they could want what they Sims. Yo, listen to me. I don't care what they want. The ball is in Leon's court. He can Jalen Brunson for nothing. He could. Or he can offer them Derrick Rose or Evan Fournier and a second-round pick. He could do that. Okay? Listen, y'all. Leon's in the driver's seat in this particular situation. He's in the driver's seat. Y'all should understand that. He's in the driver's seat. Now, what about Melo? Some people are asking. Brother D Moore 914 is asking about Melo. Okay, let's talk about Melo. Listen here. The Knicks are trying to do two things. Are you ready? Listen to me. The Knicks are trying to do two things. They're trying to develop young talent and win now. Are you hearing me? They're trying to develop young talent and win now. And we have the personnel to do that. You have a 22-year-old RJ Barrett. You have a 24-year-old Obi Toppin, 23-year-old Emmanuel Quickley, right? Or 22. I'm not sure. How old is Emmanuel Quickley? Let me look at this. How old is Emmanuel Quickley? Young man is 23. He's 23. So you have a 23-year-old Emmanuel Quickley. You're trying to find time for Quentin Grimes, Obi Toppin, Emmanuel Quickley, and Cam Reddish. You're trying to find time for Obi in such that we're talking about playing Obi at the 3. Okay? So where does Melo come in? Well, he would be a good mentor, obviously. But we don't want him taking time from Cam, listen to me, or Obi, or Quick, or Quentin. He is obviously not going to take time from Julius Randle, obviously. So that's the problem with Melo. If it was just you sit on the bench and we do a farewell tour, okay, I'm with that. But if you're telling me he's going to play minutes, whose time is he taking? Is he taking Cam's time? I don't want that. Do you? Listen, do you want Carmelo Anthony to take time away from Cam Reddish? Do you want that? I don't. Do you want Carmelo Anthony to take time from Obi Toppin? Do you want that? Think about that, y'all. Do you want that? I don't. Do you want Carmelo Anthony to take time from Quentin Grimes? I don't. Think about these things when you're talking about adding a player to the Knicks rotation, such as the Carmelo Anthony. Okay. Now, this past week, James Dolan had dinner with Carmelo Anthony. That is a fact. We saw that. Did y'all see it? It was in, I don't know, it was Twitter or whatever. James Dolan had dinner with Carmelo Anthony this past week. Okay. I don't know what that means. I know that the whole reason Carmelo came to the Knicks is because Dolan forced that deal. That wasn't Donnie Walsh forcing that deal. Donnie Walsh might not even sign Carmelo because he wasn't giving up the team for Carmelo. As I said to y'all before, he was trying to make a deal with Utah for Deron Williams, which would have fit better with Mike D'Antoni's offense. But that was all nullified because the owner went out to LA on All-Star Weekend that year, and he promised Melo he was going to get him because Melo was threatening to go to the Nets. Yeah, some of you don't remember these details. I do. But Melo was threatening to go to the Nets. So Dolan went out to LA to All-Star Weekend. It was in LA that year. And he talked to Melo and promised him he was going to come to the Knicks. And that's what happened. Okay. Apparently, Melo's a Dolan favorite. That's the owner right there. He just had dinner with him this past week. I don't know what that means, but something is going on. Okay. So they're going to do a Melo farewell tour. But I also think this. Carmelo Anthony, say what you want about him. He's a smart young man. He's an intelligent young man. He can clearly see what the Knicks are doing and where they're going. He's not stupid. I respect Melo's intelligence. So he may want to go to another contender, or Miami, an LA, someplace where he might compete for that ring and get minutes. The Knicks may not be that spot for him. Maybe next year. You hear what I'm saying? Maybe next season when he's like 38, 39, he gets that farewell tour with a Knicks jersey on. But I'm not sure if it's appropriate for this season. You hear what I'm saying? I'm not sure if it's appropriate for this season. I could see him on LA, Minnesota, Miami, the Bucks, Philly. I could see him on I could see him on a championship contender this year, but not the Knicks, not right now. Maybe next year. The Suns, right? Travis Quarters, right? Something like that. Maybe this year, but on the Knicks, not quite, because we're trying to find time for Obi and Quentin Grimes and Cam Reddish and RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley. You see what I'm saying? Whose time is he stealing? You see what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, the Suns, the Lakers, the Heat, the Sixers, those type of teams are teams that I could see a Melo coming on this year because he could play 10, 15 minutes and make a contribution to a championship team. He could do that. Yeah, I can see him doing it, but not on the Knicks, not this year. Y'all hear what I'm not Melo hating. I'm just telling you the real. You're following me though? That's what I'm saying. You're catching what I'm saying? I'm not saying Melo cannot contribute. I'm saying on this year's Knicks team, the way it's structured right now, not a good fit. That's all I'm saying. Not a good fit. What's up, Glenn? Not a good fit. That's all I'm saying. You're following me? Not a good fit. But on some championship teams, like I said, yeah, the Bucks, the Suns, the Lakers, the Heat, the Sixers, you get Melo on a vet min, which they could sign him to. Even older cap team could sign somebody to a vet min. You waive somebody. Melo, he would help. But on the Knicks this year, with the guys we got, what we're trying to do, doesn't really fit. That's all I'm saying to y'all. Doesn't really fit. Take the emotion of the love. We love Melo. Melo's New York. Red Hook. All that. But just take that out of it and let's look at it hard as a roster, right? I don't see it right now. It makes a good headline, but even the Nuggets, right, Machado? I'm even the Nuggets, but I'm saying it makes a good headline. But for the real, not right now. Not for the Knicks. Maybe next year. What's up, the loud one? No, I love the Knicks. I love Quickley. You think I don't like Quick? I love Quick. I like Deuce. I like Quick. I like our whole team, man. I'm like, listen here. I like our whole team. I like our whole team, man. I like the whole squad. You wearing orange and blue, I'm down, right? I'm down. So that's the deal. So, yeah, I love Quickley. Okay, but Quickley, I'm trying to be real with y'all. I think the Knicks think of Emmanuel Quickley as a bench scoring dude. I don't think they think of him as a starting point guard. That's all. Thierno Sadu Barry. No, I don't want to play Melo over Cam Reddish. I don't want to play Melo over Cam Reddish. Okay, no. I don't want to steal Cam Reddish's minutes for Carmelo Anthony. I don't want to do that. You hear what I'm saying? No. I'd rather Cam get those minutes if I'm going to play them right now. Yeah, I love Deuce. Deuce and Mitchell Robinson, I've clearly said, are my two favorite Knicks. Deuce McBride and Mitchell Robinson are my two favorite Knicks. I would love to see them get as many minutes as possible. Okay, but I know Mitch Rob is going to be starting at the 5, and Deuce is not, because Deuce is playing behind, Jalen Brunson. But I like that backup role for him because he's going to be able to develop behind Jalen Brunson. Somebody asked Steve Feldman about whether Mr. Carmelo Anthony should be signed by the Knicks this year. That's what started the conversation. You might not have been here, but that that's how the conversation started. So I was explaining why I don't think it's a good idea for this particular season to sign Carmelo in. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm thinking Obi is going to get more minutes, either at the 4 and or the 3. I'm thinking he's going to get more minutes. So yeah, I think that's something they're going to try. How it will work out, we're yet to find out. If it works out defensively, you'll see a lot of it, though. I think you will. And I really think it could. I'm not guaranteeing you, but I can see Obi Toppin has developed over his 3 years in the NBA as an NBA level defender. He has. This is his 2 years in the NBA as an NBA level defender. He has developed into one. So I'm very confident in his defensive abilities. If he can guard threes, which I'm saying it's possible, you're going to see him play some three. Okay. What's up, Ian Baco? Ian Kevin Baco. Thank you. Shout out from the Philippines. What island on the Philippines are you on, Kevin? What island are you on? Are you on the Big Island? Are you on Iloilo? What island are you on, Kevin? Praise the Most High. And so, yeah. Are you worried about Deuce dribble creation at all? No, I'm not. I'm not. Why? For what? Do you see how he shoots the basketball? Do you see how he sets up the offense? Do you see how he locks down brothers on defense? Not worried about it. Not at all. I'm not saying it's his strength, but what you expect, perfection from the kid? Come on, stop it. Nobody's perfect. Yeah, he's all good, man. I like Deuce can get open when he needs to. I'm not worried about Deuce. Quezon City, okay, Luzon, okay, you're on the Big Island there. The Manila Island, right? The island of Manila. Yeah, I want to come to the Philippines, but I'm really not keen on Luzon. I'll be honest. I want to get in where Iloilo at? With that island. I want to get on the island that grows all the durian, Davao City. I want to get on the island that grows all the durian and Negros Occidental. I want to get on them spots. Yeah, I watched it, Glenn. I watched it before we did this here. That's why I do this here. I watched the game. The Knicks were impressive defensively. Man. I'm very impressed with how they came out on defense. And I want to tell you something. They're going to get better. Visayas, that's right. Iloilo, yeah. Visayas, Iloilo. I want to go there. But tomorrow, or should I say today, it's now 12:47 a.m. Today, when they play, who do they play tonight? Who did the Knicks play tonight? Y'all know who they playing tonight? Let me see here. Who the Knicks playing? Who are they playing tonight? Let's take a look. I'm trying to get my NBA thing up here. The Knicks are playing against the Bulls. They're playing the Bulls. Let me make a prediction. They're going to play better against the Bulls than they played against Golden State. They're going to look better against the Bulls. Not because it's the Bulls, because the more games they play, the better they'll look. The game is scheduled 5 p.m. Knicks against the Bulls, 5 p.m. 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm guessing that's the Eastern time, 5 p.m. Well, that's Nevada time. They're in Las Vegas, so 5 p.m. Okay. So, yeah, I'm going to predict they're going to play better against the Bulls than they did against Golden State. First of all, Golden State is a really well-run organization. I think we can all agree with that. And so Kuminga and Moody run through that organization. They had like 4 players that were on that championship roster. So, you're going to expect a little bit tighter, a little bit better. And the Knicks still held them to 88 points. Okay. The Knicks still have 88 points. Who did the Bulls get this year? Who did the Bulls draft? Y'all know? Did they draft anybody? And I'm looking at this thing. They got Samanic. Who they got? They got nobody. Who they got? They got nobody on their team. Nobody. They got nobody. I don't see nobody. So they got a bunch of dudes trying to make the league on their team. Okay, so yeah, I think the Knicks are going to look better against them. Hopefully, nobody gets hurt. Yeah, Farron Hunt was playing like a dude looking for that NBA contract. He's on a G League deal. He's looking for the NBA contract. Jericho Sims played like a dude that just signed an NBA contract, and he looked much more developed in all areas of the game. Okay, Jericho really did. He looked like he was a man among boys against the Golden State Warriors. So I think the Golden State Warriors would have had a better game against the Knicks if James Wiseman was playing. And James Wiseman is said, did you guys see the interview that Doris Burke did with James Wiseman? He said that he might be prepared to play sometime this week. So, I expect a whole different team when you got James Wiseman out. Yeah. So, Mr. Hunt looked pretty good. I'm looking at him as that 15th spot on the Knicks. And again, that I'm not a huge Montero dude. Some of y'all are, but I'm saying if your boy Montero is going to get a chance to make the roster as a G League contract, he better hope that they convert Farron Hunt's contract to a full-time roster deal. That's gonna be good. The Sumo, that's good. Travis, the Sumo is gonna play. And then you're going to have... Did they draft Dalen? Did the Bulls draft Dalen Terry? Did they? Let me see. Did they draft Dalen Terry? If they did, they're gone. Let me see here. Chicago Bulls 2022 draft picks. Let me see who they got.
According to NBA.com, Bulls select guard Dalen Terry with number 18 pick in 2022 NBA.
They got Dalen Terry. Yes. Okay. I didn't see that. Okay. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. We're going to see what happens here. This is going to be good, Summer League. Yes, this is going to be good. I like this test, but I want to tell you still, the Knicks are going to be better against the Bulls than they were against the Golden State Warriors. So, oh yeah, love UB Brown, man. UB Brown is one of my favorite basketball minds. I love listening to UB Brown. I don't think people appreciate the genius, the intelligence, the history, as far as the knowledge of a UB Brown. I'm surprised he's still alive. He was remind me of a Dr. Jack Ramsey who passed away. May he rest in peace. He was the championship coach of the 77 Trailblazers and the basketball genius, Dr. Jack Ramsey. And UB Brown is very similar. Basketball genius, man. Got more knowledge of basketball than most people have forgotten. He had forgotten more than most people ever know. So that's UB Brown. And Doris Burke, I put in UB Brown's category. That's how much I respect her analysis. She really is very good at analyzing. There's some women that, don't. Okay. But Doris Burke knows the game. There's no doubt in my mind. She's really good at analyzing the basketball. So I really appreciate it. And I like listening to her. I hate listening to the dudes that be telecasting the NBA and TNT. Oh my gosh. Shaq and Barkley, if they could just shut up. Oh my gosh. And my man, they used to play for the Celtics. Big Perk. Oh my gosh. Big Perk. He embarrasses me. I'm embarrassed for him. Okay. Yeah, Burke is the only ESPN announcer that's worth listening to. She's the only one, honestly. And I love UB Brown. Then, of course, Mark Jackson's a tremendous analyst. And Jeff Van Gundy has his moments. Mark Jackson, it really knows the game. To me, in my opinion, he knows the game. I like listening to him. There's a few guys. And, of course, Mike Breen, Walt Clyde Frazier. Mike Breen, Walt Clyde Frazier. Love listening to them. We are blessed as Knicks fans to get them at MSG, during the course of the season with the New York Knicks. I mean, we are blessed. Back in the day, there was a dude, Kyle Ramsey. I don't know if y'all remember Kyle Ramsey. He was back in the 70s and 80s. He knew the game too. Okay. I like Kyle Ramsey, man. He knew the game. Okay. He knew the game, man. Yeah, Chris Broussard's another clown. LeBron! Yeah, Chris Broussard. Clown. You know, whatever. Him and Stephen A. Smith, clowns. Oh my gosh. Do we have to waste time listening to these clowns? I could go to, listening to the Barnum and Bailey Circus be better. But Doris Burke, Jeff Van Gundy, Mark Jackson, these guys know the game, man. You want to listen to them. Hubie Brown, these guys know the game for real. Clyde and Mike Breen, they know the basketball. They know basketball. You want to learn basketball? Listen to these people. Richard Jefferson. That's not his real name. Ark Omar, did you know Richard Jefferson is not his real name? Did you know that? Y'all didn't know Richard Jefferson's real name? That it's not Richard Jefferson. No. You didn't know his real name? Richard Jefferson? His real name is Stephen Fetchit. His real name is Stephen Fetchit. That's his real name. That's Richard Jefferson's real name. Step and Fetchit. That's his real name. Step and Fetchit. Step and Fetchit. That's his real name. His real name is not Richard Jefferson. His real name is Step and Fetchit. Florida said, what did I say? I said his real name is Stephen Fetchit. That's his real name. Stephen Fetchit. That's his that's his real name. Stephen Fetchit. Y'all thought he was Richard Jefferson? No, that's just his that's an alias. His real name is Stephen Fetchit. That's his real name. Okay. Richard Jefferson. Oh my gosh. He is annoying. He is annoying, man. Oh my gosh. He is truly annoying. I know they don't get it anymore. It's all good though. I know. Jersey Shore said I'm stupid. All right, I'll take that, Jersey Shore. Hey, listen. I'm just telling you the facts. His real name is Stephen Fetchit. That's his real name. It's not Richard Jefferson. It's Stephen Fetchit. I like Shannon Sharp, but honestly, Shannon Sharp is a football analyst trying to pose as a sports analyst. That's the way I think of Shannon Sharp. He's a football analyst trying to pose as a sports analyst. He's really not a sports analyst. He's a football analyst. Now, I don't know if most of you know, Shannon Sharp is a Hall of Fame tight end, but his brother was better than him. Sterling Sharp was better than him. Sterling Sharp had a bad neck injury that ended his career, but Sterling Sharp was a better football player than Shannon Sharp, if you really go back in time. But Shannon Sharp is a really a great football analyst that's posing as a sports analyst. I don't listen to much what he says, but I don't, he's not as stupid as, Skip Bayless. Yeah, Sterling was really, really good. Green Bay Packer tight end. He was really, really good. He just hurt his neck, and that ended his career. But he was better than his brother. He was really better than his brother. Sterling Sharp. He was really good. Number 84 for the Green Bay Packers. Really, really good. Yeah, he was a bad dude, man. He was really good. It was just that I didn't even know about Shannon Sharp until after Sterling got hurt. It's like, who's Shannon Sharp? Oh, that's Sterling, brother. Oh, because Sterling was the dude. He was that dude. Sterling was that dude. Okay, he really was. He was that dude. Some people don't know that. I'm just saying. Oh yeah, Look, I'm not saying Sterling's no idiot, man. Sterling sharp. No, I mean, no pun intended. He cool, man. He's a cool dude. Yeah, Skip Bayless, you know. Yeah, that's right. Ruggs, remember the freight train. It's Sterling Sharp. That's right. Sterling Sharp. But the Knicks, just to recap, the Knicks look really good in this summer league game, and they really played New York Knicks defense. I noticed the most important thing I noticed is that it's official now. The Knicks have changed the culture. The culture has changed. We got a defensive culture. And I'm telling you, this year, they'll be top 10 in the NBA in defense. They'll be top 10 in multiple categories. Maybe better. I'm being conservative. They'll be a top 10 NBA defense in the top 10 of the NBA in different categories. They're going to be that good defensively. I don't know what's going to happen offensively. I can't predict what Tom Thibodeau is going to do. But I could tell you what. They're going to play high-level NBA defense. Even with Jalen Brunson starting at the point guard, they're going to play high-level NBA defense. The Knicks are really going to make the Garden crowd satisfied with the defense they bring out this year. Tom Thibodeau is going to love that. Okay, so yeah, I think we'll be top 10 in defense. And I think you're right, Omar. Akamar said if we top 10, we'll get a 6 seed. I'm going to be more conservative and say the Knicks will make the playoffs, not the play-in. They'll make the playoffs, which means 7 or 8 seed. But yes, it's entirely conceivable that the Knicks could be a 6 seed. It's entirely conceivable because they're going to play that level of defense. And did you see what Julius Randle looked like? Now, normally I don't play into Julius Randle's physical condition because Julius Randle really is always in shape. But he daggone sure looked like 235. Y'all see him? He looked like he was about 235. I mean, man, he did. And so, he might come out this year playing ball. He might. And again, this is the year he's going to have a real NBA level point guard. He's a real NBA level point guard this year. So we're going to see what happens. The thing is that I don't know if Tibbs is going to hold Julius Randle accountable, but let's take a couple of facts also. Rick Brunson ain't having it, not with his son out there running the point, and Jalen Brunson ain't having it. Y'all understand that, right? Jalen Brunson ain't having no attitude from Julius Randle, and neither is Rick. I don't know what Tibbs is going to do, but I'm going to tell you straight, Rick Brunson ain't having it with his son out there with the keys, and Jalen ain't having it. So I think Randall's going to be on his best behavior this year. I think he is. And with him looking at like 235 pounds, really slim and in tight shape, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting. The Knicks can be really good this year. See, Randall's the linchpin. If Randall's arguing with the refs all the time, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem. But if he's not, the Knicks are going to be good. The Knicks are going to be good. Detroit is going to be up and coming. They're not quite ready for prime time. They're going to be pushing for the play-in, though. I thought they would be pushing for the play-in last year. But what happened was Jeremy Grant was hurt for a large part of the season. Y'all know that. He missed at least 20 games last year. But if you give a healthy, now you got Ivy. You got Jalen Brunson. You still got Sadiq Bey. Okay? That trio, and now they got Durant. I'm not saying they're going to be pushing like in the 5th seed or anything, but they will be pushing for the play-in. Detroit's going to be a legit play-in contender this year. Legit. And in 2 seasons, not this year, but the end of next season, Cade Cunningham's a top 5 NBA player in 2 seasons. He's a top 5 NBA player. He's that good. I'm that high on him. Hey, listen, as a side note, was not telling you all about Benedict Mathurin. He was the first dude I mentioned this whole season. Was I telling y'all about Benedict Mathurin or wasn't I? Was I telling y'all how good that young man could play basketball? Was I telling you that like in January? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? Benedict Mathurin? I told y'all that young man was good, man. I told y'all he was the deal. I told y'all he's the deal. Okay? Now, with him, Duarte, Halliburton, and they still got Miles Turner. Watch Indiana. Now Indiana is a playoff possibility. Watch Indiana. I'm not talking about play in. I'm talking about play off. That's a playoff possibility right there. Watch Indiana. Because that young man, Benedict Mathurin, let me tell you something. He's going to be top 3 in Rookie of the Year running. You know, Benedict Mathurin is that dude, man. I'm telling y'all, I wish the Knicks had got him. I'm not blaming them that they didn't. I'm just saying he's that dude. He is that dude. Indiana's going to be a problem. He's that guy, man. I'm telling y'all. I told y'all. He's the first college player that caught my attention. When I saw him, I was like, wait, let me look at him again. When I saw him, I was like, wait, let me look at him again. Because that dude is that dude, man. This was before at the All-Star break, I started looking at the kids, man. And I was like, dang, this cat from Arizona. And at that time, they had him slotted like 16. And I said, nah, this dude is good, man. If y'all recall, I had him and Ivy right there, right? Because I told y'all he's that dude. He's really good. But you know what? I like our kids. Quick, Obi, Q-Dog, Deuce. I like our kids. Jericho. I like our kids, man. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. We're going to be all right. Detroit is not ready for prime time yet. They're pushing for the play-in this year. I'm not sure they'll make it. They may be a lottery pick next year. We're going to talk about this young man, Victor Wembanyama. That boy is a game changer. Victor from France, he's a game changer. Let's talk about Victor's red flags, though. We know his talent is off the charts. Victor's talent is Luka Doncic, LeBron James, game-changing talent. Okay, let's get that out the way. But there's a couple things we don't know. The boy is from France, right? He could be soft. Let's be real about it now. He could be soft. He could be soft. He could be. Look, I saw the highlights of Kenny Lofton Jr. against Chet Holmgren. Did y'all see that? Did you see the highlights of Kenny Lofton Jr. against Chet Holmgren? Did you see that? He bully balled Chet Holmgren. He bully balled. And that's a rookie in Summer League. What Chet Holmgren going to do when he got to play against Joel Embiid? Forget Joel Embiid. What are you going to do against Harris? What Chet Holmgren going to do against Jimmy Butler? You see what I'm saying? So let's talk about Victor. He's a soft European. Let me tell you something else. And I'm serious. I don't know if he's injury prone or not. And I'm saying that with all seriousness, with all fairness. I don't know if this kid. Look, y'all. Look. Listen now. The league is 82 games. The league is 82 games. I don't know if Victor's ready for that. I don't know if Chet's ready for that. I'm just saying I don't know. I'm not saying he is or he isn't. I'm saying I don't No. But I do know we had a cat in New York named Kristaps Porzingis, built very similar, did we not? Was the boy hurt every year? Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Was he hurt every year in Dallas? Yes, he was. Yes, he was. Okay, so I don't know. We're going to see what happens. This is an 82-game season in the league. It's no joke, man. You can't come. This ain't no 30-game college season. You better come in here ready to play at least 72. They're going to break you into. This the league. Okay, I'm trying to tell you. So I don't know how Victor is going to hold up. He looked like a bird. He got all the skills in the world. He got otherworldly talent. He's scary. He really is. He's scary on both ends of the floor. He is a franchise-changing talent. But is he KP? Let me tell you something, brethren. Can you please name me one 7-foot center of Hall of Fame level that really can play without getting hurt? I could only really name a couple of them. And they all go back in the day. You got your Jabars. You got your Chamberlains. And they were 7 feet. Bill Russell was only 6'9", so I'm not counting him. But you got your Nate Thurmans, your Artis Gilmore. In the modern era, you had a Rick Smits who had constant foot problems. You had a Shaq who was dominant as long as he wasn't overweight. There's been no big man in the modern era. Tim Duncan was 6'11", but Tim Duncan played the 4. Okay. And look, let me ask you, is Tim Duncan the exception or was he the rule? Talk to me. Is he the exception or is he the rule? Tim Duncan. Was he the exception? How many Tim Duncans were there? Even Yao Ming had foot problems. He got his all-star nods because of how many Chinese were watching the NBA. Okay. But now seriously, but he had foot problems in the beginning. Not many 7-footers play long-term in the league. I'm just trying to be honest with you. Tyson Chandler, would you consider Tyson Chandler an all-time NBA center? Is Tyson Chandler like, that franchise-changing dude? Would you consider him that? Was Dwight Howard? Dwight Howard played in the league, was defensive player of the year multiple times, led the league in blocks, led the league in rebounds multiple times, but his teams never won a chip. He was more of a clown, right? So what my point? My point is it's hard to find a 5 that you can count on to be a game changer because the 5s that are like your Kristaps Porzingis, your Chet Holmgrens, your Victor Wembanyama, those guys get hurt. There's some weakness. It's a foot injury. It's a wind problem. It's a knee problem. There's always something. It's always something. Dwight Howard, I'm not going to front. Dwight Howard, multiple-time defensive player of the year, multiple-time all-star, multiple-time rebounding leader in the NBA, multiple time. He's an exception. So look, Tim Duncan was drafted 96? Dwight Howard was drafted 2004 or 2000, something like that? That's how often those guys come around. Are you hearing what I'm saying? That's how often. You had a 1996 dude, Tim Duncan, and then you had 20 years later, not 20, 10 years later, Dwight Howard come along. It's very rare. It's hard to find a 5 guy that could change your trajectory of your team. Even though we can see it with a Chet Holmgren, we can see it with a Victor Wembanyama, I'm still thinking there's red flags because of the injury risk. And can they play 82 games? Or forget 82. Can they play 72 games? I don't know. So I don't know about Victor. I would take the risk on him. I would take Joel Embiid hurt every year, bro. Joel Embiid hurt every year. Am I right? Joel Embiid ain't played 82 games ever. He came in the league with bad feet. He has hurt his knee. He has hurt this. He has hurt that. Come on. I mean, when he plays, he's all world. But when does he play? He's like this Jaguar I used to own, always in the shop. You understand? So you got to be, that's all I'm saying. So with Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren, they could be Hall of Fame talent. They are. I'm going to tell you, Victor Wembanyama is Hall of Fame talent. As far as talent, shit, man, that cat, I would take a risk on him. I would trade I would trade half the Knicks to get Victor Wembanyama. I would. But I'm just telling you, you got that risk. He could be Kristaps Porzingis. He could be Greg Oden. He could be somebody like that. Okay, there's been a lot of them dudes, man. There's been a lot of them dudes. Yeah, there's been a lot of them dudes. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I used to own a Jaguar. Man, when it ran, it was beautiful. But it spent more time in the shop than on the road. Right? Until the point came where I actually gave it away. I didn't want to deal with it no more. I just gave it away to cars for kids. I couldn't deal with it. Well, it was just too much, man. Farron Hunt is a dude fighting for that 15th spot. I don't know if he's gonna make it, but he's already got the G League contract. But he's a dude fighting for that 15th spot. Thank you, Will Beggs. Yeah, he's fighting for that 15th spot. I think, that's what he's doing. If he makes the 15th spot, you might see Montero get a G League contract. But at this point, it's just one game, but he hasn't earned the 15th spot yet. Let's see what happens against the Bulls, later today at 5 o'clock. Let's see what happens against the Bulls. But Montero is got to hope that Hunt gets a 15 spot regular NBA minimum contract, because not, Montero is gone. He's going somewhere else. Okay, that's what it is. Okay. True. So the Knicks are playing at 5 o'clock this afternoon against the Bulls. Looking forward to that game. I think they're going to play better than they did against Golden State, where they held Golden State to 88 points. I think they're going to be playing better against the Bulls. So this is going to be interesting with Ayu Dosunmu and Dalen Terry. Very, very going to be very good. Russell Reed asks, who's my starting five? I don't like to pick starting fives because there's too many possibilities. Cam could start, Grimes could start, Obi could start. I don't know. Let's put the definite. We got, Jalen Brunson's your starting point guard. RJ Barrett is on the wing, either 2 or 3. Julius Randle is starting at the 4, and Mitchell Robinson starting at the 5. I don't know who's starting at the 2. I don't know what they're going to do in the ring. I don't know. There's too many possibilities. Okay, I don't know. But I can guarantee you Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, RJ Barrett, and Jalen Brunson are 4 starters. Whether it's Cam Reddish, whether it's Quentin Grimes, whether it's Obi Toppin, I can't tell you. Okay, I really don't know. But those 4 dudes, Randall, Brunson, RJ, and Mitchell Robinson are starting. I can guarantee you that. Other than that, I don't know. I can't tell you. Okay, I'm just being honest with you. I can't tell. Okay. Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting, because Grimes is going to get minutes, whether it's as a starter or not, I can't tell you. But he's going to get minutes, okay? Obi's going to get his minutes too. They both going to get minutes. I just don't know in what capacity, how they're going to do it. But they're going to get their minutes. They have to. They're just playing too well, okay? Too important to winning. They're going to get their minutes. Okay, they're going to get their minutes. Yeah, he's going to have to. Kip's going to have to give the kids some real burn. They just traded Alec Burks. They just let Taj Gibson go. He's going to have to give the kids some burn. They just renounced Ryan Arcidiacono. And of course, Kemba Walker's gone. So the kids are gonna get some minutes. I think there's one more too, master scheme. I think there's one more. We're gonna see what happens. And like I said, it's either Derrick Rose or Evan Fournier. We're gonna see what happens. Either Derrick Rose or Evan Fournier. Let's see what happens. One of them is gone. Okay, we're gonna see what happens. Okay, but anyway, it's now 1 a.m. I gotta get some sleep. I really thank y'all for hanging out with me this morning. I did look at the game. I did see the Knicks. I'm very excited about what we got going on. I'm very happy for what I saw from the game, from Deuce, from Quentin Grimes, and from Jericho, especially Farron Hunt. I'm pulling for him to make the team, but I like from what our kids that's going to be getting some rotation minutes. Very happy. I want to thank you all for showing up today, or should I say this morning, on this Knicks thing. I'm going to do another one after the Knicks game against the Bulls. I'm going to do another one. So because I'm really following this, because I'm a Deuce fan, so I'm really following this summer league, and I want to see these kids really bust out. So I'm thinking they're going to play very good. Thank you all for showing up tonight again. Thank you all for following my channel, which is now past 7,000 subscribers. Praise the Most High. Y'all really have given me more love than I deserve. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Please be safe wherever you are, whether you're in NYC or whatever city or place you're in. Please be safe out there. Enjoy your weekend. Be careful, okay? Don't go nowhere where there's problems, all right? I'm glad you're here instead of in some club somewhere where somebody gonna pull out a gun and start shooting. Thank you for being here. Be safe. Thank you, Samir Soriano, for the $5 super chat. He says, thanks, Roy. Thank you, my brother. And I really appreciate your support. It's really been a blessing. Much, like I said, much more than I deserve, much more than I expected. I really praise the Most High for you all. Please be safe out there this Saturday night. Be careful, my brothers and sisters. Be careful out there. Shalom.